Folks, Adam here, Sandamtod. How y'all doing? Got a package in the mail that I ordered. Ordered a couple games off Amazon. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's not going to be like a marathon package video, but I like to pad them out a little bit. But anyway, I ordered 2 games. I'm pretty sure one of them's probably a greatest hits copy, but I really wanted to play it, and I didn't want to pay for a black box copy because it was like, I'll explain when I get it open. I'll start explaining before I even show you what's up. So anyway, we'll get into this sucker here, and I'll tell you right off the bat whether or not it's it's greatest hits, but what are you gonna do? Anyway, let's pull the games out and see what we got. Voila! Anyway, I've been playing Infamous, the first one, and I was digging it okay. When I very first started playing it, I was really digging it, but the same thing happened to me that always happens to me with sandbox-styled games. For the most part, is the fighting's too repetitive for me, and I stopped following the mission structure, and then I get bored with it because I get sick of just walking around doing nothing. But the missions that I'm supposed to be doing don't really interest me either. And it happened to me with Grand Theft Auto, all the Grand Theft Auto games that I've ever played. I got about halfway through them and just gave up. Vice City, I probably got the farthest in. And then, I'm trying to think. So I was like looking through my PS3 games for something to play, and nothing was jumping out at me except these other 2 titles that I already had in a series, but I didn't have the first game, and I was like, well, I want to start at the beginning. You know, I'm just that way. Even if the beginning game is not that pivotal to the overall story, it's one of those things where I'd rather go ahead and start at the beginning. I kind of had that problem with Mass Effect because people were like, oh, Mass Effect 2 and then Mass Effect 3, you know, go on, kitty. Came out, and both of them were like, oh, you got to play these games, and I was like, I've never played through Mass Effect 1, and I've tried 2 or 3 times to get into it, and I'd never really got into the first one, so I was like, what are you going to do? So, anyway, the series, without any further ado, and it is a greatest hits copy, but I'm like, oh well, you know, no big deal, because what I was seeing was, as far as black box copies went of this game, they were running about $18 or so, even used, and then you'd have to pay another, like, you know, minimum of $4 shipping, up to like $7 and $8 shipping sometimes, and this one was $13.56, and I didn't have to pay any shipping because Amazon has got a deal with their, I don't know how it works, but if you order stuff through their store and you pay $25 or more, they'll ship it to you for free if you're not in a big busted ass hurry to get it. So I usually am not, so I was like, well, I want this one game, so I went on roaming to find something else that was about the same price, just to get it slightly over that $25 mark, so I wouldn't have to pay, you know, $8 shipping for 2 games. But I didn't want to pay, you know, more than like $30 or so for the whole shebang. So anyway, I might as well go ahead and show it since I've talked it up. It is a greatest hits version. Like I was just saying recently, I don't usually like buying greatest hits. Actually, this is probably the first greatest hits that I bought new in a long time. I think the last greatest hits game that I bought that was brand new was Tony Hawk 4 for the PS2, and so it's been a while, but anyway, I was going to go ahead and peel the plastic off so we can get right into it. But I did that video because Big Bear 2G19 had asked me what I thought about greatest hits games and stuff, and this is one of those cases where the greatest hits to me, it's reached a point where if I can find a black box copy down the road, great, but I wasn't willing to pay used for a black box copy at this time because it was going to cost me, with shipping and everything, almost double what this one cost. So I went and picked up the first in the series, Uncharted. I had picked up the other ones. Let's see what we got here. You know, it's just Uncharted, but it's greatest hits. Complete, brand new. It was $13. The other two I picked up at the pawn shop. I had seen a copy of Uncharted at the pawn shop, and I think they wanted like $8.99 or something. The case looked like somebody's dog had chewed on it. I mean, it was like the case was in very bad shape. And I was like, I'm not going that route. But anyway, I had these other two for a while, and that would be the Game of the Year edition of Uncharted 2, complete, and Uncharted 3. Now, this is in the Game of the Year on Uncharted 3, and this one says it was the Game of the Year, but it's not a Game of the Year edition on the greatest hits. At least it doesn't really indicate that it is. But Uncharted 3. And so I wanted to start with the first one, and I was just like, I've heard that these were really good, you know, games. And it was one of those deals where I just wasn't willing to pay for a black box copy right now. So I'm going to start into that game next. Actually, I'm probably not next. I mean, I'm going to probably quit playing Infamous and start playing Uncharted probably after I quit making this video. But I don't know. It's still, you know, I'm like, greatest hits game, but you know, at this time it's more of a I want to play it more than I want to collect it, so not a big deal. Now we're going to show you the other game. Now I was a huge fan of this when I was a kid, and then over the years I had heard in the 90s that they were going to make a second. Originally, it was rumored that they were going to make a second movie in the 90s, and then it was rumored that they were coming out with a video game, and I was thinking it was going to be a PS2 game or whatever, but it ended up that it never came out for the PS2. It only came out on the Xbox and PC, and so I never got it, and then I've always, like I said, been a fan of this, and when this game came out, I thought, as a fan, it looked pretty cool, but I'd always heard mixed reviews about it, so I didn't want to pull the trigger on it when it was too expensive, but it was only $11, and let me see what it says, $11.75 for this, and I went ahead and picked up, what are you doing, geek? I picked up the game Tron Evolution. Huge Tron fan. I mean, back in the day, if I wasn't looking to play Yi or Kung Fu, I always zeroed in on a Tron machine at any arcade that I went to. It was such a basic game, but the fact that they tied it in with the movie and how everything, it has a deep nostalgia for me. So over the years, I've picked up other Tron merch, not like my Evil Dead's. I mean, my Evil Dead, I bought it multiple times, and I'll buy merchandise for it whenever I see it, usually. But this, I just kind of pick them up here and there, but I did end up picking up the Xbox. You're going to knock this stuff off. Go on. I picked up the Xbox game that came out a while back. I'm trying to see when the date is on this. Alright, it's reserved. You're staring at me looking at the back of the thing. It don't matter. I think it came out. Quit it. Please. I don't know. I'm sorry. That was a ridiculous waste of time. But it's the game Tron Killer App, Tron 2.0. From what I played of this, it's pretty good. Of course, I never finished it because I was more into collecting at the moment when I bought this and actually playing. So I should probably actually stick it in and look into playing it a little bit more. But this was a game that I remember when I had my PS2 and I didn't have an Xbox that I had always really wanted. So it was a definite pickup when I finally bought an Xbox console. It says voice talent of Rebecca Romaine Stamos and Bruce Boxleitner. I think he was the original guy that played Tron. And I don't know who Rebecca Romaine Stamos' character is in the game. But I picked this up, and actually I picked this up, and I don't even own this console, but it's Tron related, so I went ahead and picked it up. It's a television game, and it's called Tron Mazathon. Mazatron, sorry, not Mazathon. And look at those graphics on the back there. Looks like you're fighting the CPU, Master Control Program, the MCP. A game about computers played against a computer. 99 scoring levels, 12 difficulty levels, and 4 maze speeds. I really don't know what it plays like because I've never played it. I don't own it in television. But I did pick it up. It does have the overlays for the controller. I don't remember what I paid for it. It's got the instructions, the overlays, and then the game. The label is all on there, but it looks like, you know, that adhesive that they used to use back then wasn't the greatest, and it looks like it kind of bled through the label a little bit. But that's it. That's what I picked up. There are other Tron games I know on some other systems. I know there's like Deadly Discs and a couple other, I think Atari and ColecoVision as well, games for Tron that I just have never picked up. I don't own a ColecoVision either, so what are you going to do? But anyway, I got both of these games for $25.31 or something, so it was just barely over the $25 mark. But they both look cool to me. I don't know. You know, I'd heard, like I said, mixed things about this, but as a hack and slash kind of dude, or a beat 'em up and hack and slash dude, and a Tron fan, I don't see how I can go wrong for $11. And then I've heard great things about this series, and I just want to play it. So, you know, I pick up a black box down the road when I find one that I consider reasonable or in good shape. And that's it. So we're going to get out of here. Thanks for coming by. Quick package video, nothing major. And we'll call it a video. So I'll let you get out of here, and we'll see you next time. Bye.